I really wish companies would bring back gimmick games. And I mean the good ones. And there was some good ones to go along with a lot of bad ones. But it seems like the only gimmick we're getting nowadays is VR, which is quite expensive. One of the best gimmicks was probably the introduction of the light gun, and nobody did it better than Capcom with their Gun Con. And they made several great games to go along with it. Games like Time Crisis 2, Time Crisis 3, and things like Vampire Knight, along with a few other companies that just tried it out along the way. The biggest problem with the Gun Con these days is it requires a CRT TV. The only exception to this rule is Time Crisis 4 for the PlayStation 3, but even then you still needed some sensors to go on the sides of your LCD or nowadays your really fancy nice OLED TV. It would be great for these games to have some kind of comeback. It's just we can't with the current setup without a CRT TV. And I think VR could bring back Time Crisis. It'd be a great series to have on the VR headsets. I just don't think Capcom's gonna resurrect it just from their track record. The Wii. The Wii in of itself was basically its own gimmick game. The entire control scheme of the Wii is literally a gimmick. It's motion controls and an IR sensor. And with things like the ability to swing your sword in a Zelda game or do the crossbow hunt with the Wii Zapper, we had some great options there for gimmicks, along with some not so good options like the fishing games, if you know the ones I'm talking about with the crazy rod. Yeah, not so great in my opinion. But even the package-in game was basically a gimmick with Wii Sports. It's all motion controls. And that was basically the peak of gimmick gaming. I mean, the Wii did sell, like 300 million units? And Nintendo hasn't been the same with their gimmick games since. Things like 1-2 Switch started off hot-ish out of the gate, that people realized it's not a good game, and they've never lowered the price to try to make it anywhere competitive. And Nintendo quickly gave up on the Labo concept where you could actually build something to go along with the Switch and the Joy-Cons and the motion controls and the things that it offers. So Nintendo kind of feels like they're giving up in their gimmick space. The reboot of Wii Sports basically is as close as we're ever going to get to Nintendo really committing to gimmicks again. The next arcade-to-home game, DDR. It was everywhere. It went to the GameCube, the Xbox, the PlayStation. You rolled out your mat, you stomped on the buttons, just like you're in an arcade, except it's not a big clunky machine. Just wherever you could take it. But just with anything related to music, licensing kind of killed it because people just kept wanting more and more money for their songs. Took a lot of effort to get all these songs onto a disc to distribute, and the mats will break, and it's just, it lost popularity after a while. The last great gimmick game, Guitar Hero. I think so many people had one of these guitars lying around in their home somewhere, and they probably played Guitar Hero or Rock Band at some point. It was such a great game. Great enough that Rock Band spurred, I believe, at least 4 mainline games along with several spin-offs. Same with Guitar Hero. I think they had 7 mainline games along with a bunch of other spin-offs with tons and tons of tracks. Again, licensing became an issue, and then when they tried to revive the series one more time on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, they accidentally killed it. Basically what happened is Guitar Hero tried to mix it up, change the button layout, everybody hated it, and it just died. They even bankrupted the company that made the guitars, so it's just never coming back. If they were smart, they really could have made it a subscription model game, and if they had left the button layout, I think Guitar Hero would still be around. It would have lasted a lot longer than Guitar Hero Live, which was not good. I don't know about you, but I'd love to see more gimmick games. I want to know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what games you would like to see come back. Do you want it ported to the VR? I just don't think VR is the answer for everyone. It's just too expensive, especially when a lot of the other gimmicks we used to have were cheaper. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you next time.